Welcome to the Arcfluence Podcast, where we talk about how design impacts the way we live, work, and invest. I'm Nick Kirkan, your host, and with me today, as usual, is my business partner and co-host, Paul Fatkins. Paul, how you doing?
Hello. Good.
Hey, we're not alone today.
I know. We actually got somebody in the hot seat, somebody who's been here several times.
In the house. He's actually made himself more valuable by ghosting us. Nino Samardzic.
Payback.
Yes.
Payback.
No.
Yeah.
And it's like, dating a high school girlfriend where she ignores you and you just want more and more of it.
Shut up.
Nino, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
You're not a co-host today. You don't get that title.
Yeah.
You have the title of guest.
Of guest, exactly. Listening
Yeah.
in the questions and trying to provide the best answers.
Well, yeah, I might have to pick your brain on what questions to ask you because
Oh,
you're so
okay.
good at asking questions.
Well, this time I'm just listening and answering.
So we're gonna talk about your journey, kind of recently, because your career path is really exploding right now.
We also had a guest on recently as well who was talking about just running and managing a firm.
Yeah.
And in a team and delegating, and some of the things that came up where it's like you don't get to spend 100% of your time in design. You don't get to spend 100% of your time in production. She was saying if you're like a one-man shop, it's like half of your time is to business development. And
If you're lucky.
Yeah, and all this other stuff to run the business. Like in Nick and in my case, it might be like a quarter of our time should be to some of that stuff for business operations and other things beyond design, beyond production. So for me, what I want to get out of the talk is a little bit of a catch up. And like Nick mentioned, you're obviously growing and developing at a rapid pace now in your role. So not only that, but it's like, how are these other responsibilities coming into your role now? I'm kind of curious just to hear from your side, like now how your role has evolved and what are some of the things that you're doing beyond the design role, beyond the production role.
Yeah.
So that for me, like that's kind of what I would want to pull out of the talk.
It changed a lot. I will say big change started when I moved to Columbus.
Yeah, and you're like what, 16 years now?
I'm being in
More.
practice for 17 years now, United States. And and that's that age when you hit like a mid-40s, when you're actually reaching your peak. And the problem is what did you want to say?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say that's when you reach your midlife crisis.
Yes. It comes together, actually. But the problem is with the peak, it's actually after the peak comes like a downslide. So things change dramatically, I will say. I always wanted to I look at an architecture as completing the circle. Like you have on your phone when you that little app that tells you like you make the full circle, but there is another circle, circle.
Yeah.
So all circles.
Exactly. So you just keep expanding your horizons. But currently, I barely even touch the Revit. I'm barely even in a production at all, which actually bothers me.
Of course. Especially, listen, we all architects want to design.
Exactly.
But you are especially passionate about design.
Yeah, I love designing, and recently I designed the building exterior, all exterior of the building, which is actually now in construction, but spending less and less time in that.
And obviously it's where all of your experience has come from thus far.
Yes.
Is being in the trenches, doing the hard work, the production work, the design work. That's why you can lead a team now, or be in the role you're in now, is because you've done all of that. So yeah, it kind of stinks to hear that you're moving out of that phase.
You're moving out of that phase, but you need that background, because if you want to be a leader, you cannot just you have to have how can I say that? You have to be entrusted both by your superiors, and by the team that is behind you and supporting your work, being in production, and to have that team to have that kind of, I want to say authority, but respect.
Yeah.
Trust.
Exactly. You need to have a good amount of experience under your belt. and I'm being lucky that my vision towards the architecture is when I started as a designer and rendering, as you, Paul.
Yeah.
You are also good renderer and designer. And but then when I and I designed my first building at very young age here in the United States, which many told me like, wow, guys, this is your first building, like a full blown. It was addition, but still was pretty interesting building I designed. Get that opportunity for it. But then when we get to the construction document phase, I didn't know to detail that what I actually designed, and I was almost like a semi-ridiculed by some of the older stuff.
Of course,
yeah.
I was like, how are you gonna do this, Mr. Architect?
Do you also know it's like at that age too when somebody senior comes down to you and they have all the answers, and you're just like, wow, like
how did he know
how did he know all this? And
I don't even what spec section it is. What is the specs?
Well,
what sections are
those older experienced architects were probably just broken from not designing for so many years.
That's a vicious. That's why I keep telling you that circle. You just keep expanding for it. But then I said, like, you know what? I'm gonna learn about detailing. So I learned that. But the next phase, it was like, now I want to face clients. I don't want to just like sit in the office and do the work. I would like to experience that business side of the formula. So I keep pushing myself into new territories.
So fast forward, and you're pitching multi-million-dollar projects and meeting with clients.
And gaining the trust of the clients is the key.
So how long now have you been with your current firm?
So with my current firm, I'm just going to reach my first year anniversary.
So wow, that went by like
that.
It
went by
yesterday.
so fast.
Yesterday.
It went by so fast.
Yeah. So let's like over the last 6 months or so.
Yes.
Like give us a broad rundown of some of the things that you've expanded to into your roles and responsibilities.
Since you basically disappeared on us.
Just a few, and then we'll grab one or two and go into more detail.
So mostly like it's a chasing the jobs. That's where I am in a role now. And the chasing the work, it actually gives you some pleasure, like whenever you're chasing something, you're chasing the girls, you're chasing like everything, like it comes with winning and losing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was
the more you win, the nicer car you have.
Exactly.
The nicer whatever. Yeah.
And just build up that relationship and trust with the clients. And also you see like changes on that side of the role. Like one of our major clients are one of the biggest healthcare providers here in Columbus. And they have their own project managers. They're leaving their company. You finally gain their trust. Like we finally gained the trust. Start opening door, and she's leaving for another client. I was like, oh boy, now we're jumping to this like a fellow who's been with that client for a lot of years. Now I have to regain his trust. You're almost like I'm there, and now suddenly that person is gone, and there is a new person. It was like, well, I have to do it again. So you know what I'm saying, but it's interesting because I've been traveling a lot. I've been learning about business proposals, creating the relationships, communications, gaining the trust. For one of the probably best mentors so far, I have it, and she's in the role of the president of the company, but that lady is just like constantly on a move. I will say 9 of 10 times when I talk to her, she's in a car.
Yeah,
and I was like, please don't talk to me if you're driving. Look, don't worry, no worries. Like it's all like free hands, like whatever you call that. Hands free, exactly. Yeah. It was like but you still need some level of concentration.
Yeah, you can't put a dollar amount on mentorship.
No.
And I remember
cannot. I remember that's one was the reason why I moved. Actually, choosing this company because she really convinced me.
Of course. Well, I remember having a conversation before you even came to Columbus. Yeah. And it was just an incredible step up from the firm, where you came from.
It was a huge step.
That was a well, I don't want to say anything too
Yeah,
bad,
let's
but
not.
Yeah.
it was not the best situation.
No,
And
it
yeah, I
wasn't.
mean, compared to that, like anywhere was
It
an
just
improvement.
opens the new
Yeah.
world for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
But what's really exciting is you have somebody who is very good mentoring you, and now you meet somebody else who
Yes.
like blows them out of the water,
Yes.
and you're just like, wow.
It's literally like that. It's really like a
Yeah.
wow. It was like a who's hiding these people from me? You
This
know what
is-
I'm saying?
This is why the top 10% of humans make
Mhm.
90% of the money, because those unicorns who are just
Mhm.
incredibly thoughtful and have the foresight to train their leaders. They're not like they're a fantastic leader, but they're excellent at actually training leadership.
And just before I came in here, I was actually we are like having the meeting with our marketing lead, and we are like before we meet with our presidents and the rest of the team members. They're on a PTO, well deserved one. So me and her just like met today to like discuss. We actually have a conversation with the PM of our client. It was like, can you give us an advice? And he was just like a straight on. It was like, yeah, just tell us why we should choose you. And I was actually sitting here. We were actually talking, and you have to see like how impressive our competition is. And it was like, if you look in their portfolio, I mean, our portfolio is super strong, but their portfolio is super strong too. Plus, one of them already work in that building.
So how do we decide when we're working with two amazing firms?
Yes, and then we're like, okay, what is actually separates us from them? And we start thinking and putting down the strategies, and every single piece information matters.
Yeah.
That's what you need connection. You have to know if that firm is busy, how much of stuff they can dedicate for this new project, depending on how many projects they're currently working on.
Yeah.
Because everything matters.
Yeah,
Client is spoiled. I don't want to say spoiled, but demands a lot.
They demand.
They
They demand
demand.
and deserve.
And of course,
they deserve your attention.
because there are so many people fighting for that work. You know what I'm saying? Because many of them are ready to go even cheaper just to have like a foot in the door.
Well, of course, because these large scale commercial development projects are few, right?
There are a few,
We can do hundreds of smaller projects,
and they usually one leads to another.
correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because after working on a project for 5 to 10 years,
Yep.
they're ready to do the next one in the next location,
Yeah.
And
right?
one of these projects can keep an entire staff busy
Mhm.
for years.
But at the same time that you're actually chasing this project, concentrating on a client, you cannot abandon your team.
Right.
And that is like a hardest part now I'm facing now, because my project architect is extremely busy. I need him. We need to grow the stuff. But you cannot grow the stuff till you actually have some project rolling. But when projects start rolling, can you really find someone good? It's almost like a chicken and egg situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we are constantly on a search for a work, search for a connections that can bring us to the work, and search for talented people.
No, it's amazing, Paul. The problems are at different levels of organizations are different.
Yes and no. Some of the things Nino's talking about, though, apply to smaller firms.
That's what
and
I'm.
mid-sized
That's what I was
firms.
gonna say.
Yeah.
It's a different game, and there's more on the line for different firms and different
Yep.
situations.
Yeah.
But like, it still comes back to relationships.
It comes to relationships.
Sure. And like he mentioned, like again, like what's the difference? What makes them unique and more desirable to go with versus the others?
Right.
And again, it's these small things.
Information.
Information you're giving them, attention you're giving them, things that you're delivering maybe slightly differently that these other guys are not doing or not making the effort because they're too busy or whatever reason, right? And that's the different something that's different that sets you apart.
So Nino, you're blown away by this competition. How do you set yourself apart? What do you do?
But once again, first you have to be in constant flow. You have to be informed, which is in today's day and age is easy. You have a lot of available tools at your disposal, but many there are still many items that you have to have special connections to reach that level of information. So, for example, one of the tactics I have, even when I leave the company, this is only my third company. Many people change multiple companies.
Right.
Yeah.
I still keep a relationship with some people from my previous company, because now this gives me different perspective, especially if you start going heads against each other. And these people will leave that company, go to another company. And I would like to maintain communication, because some of them can be actually tomorrow my employee. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And work for me, or work with me, or even be my supervisor. For me, there's no differences. You have to put all your ego aside. You just have to look for a bigger gain.
Yeah.
And that really clear up your mind when you have a goal set. And goal sometimes is not like I just want that. No, I want to develop this. I want to put all these things in my library that I have in my disposal. Because you never know what opportunity can rise up. And I was like, let me go to shelf number 4. So I'm going to call my buddy John, Jonathan, Paul, or whoever who can actually help me with this. And, and you always have to remain, you cannot and my apologies for ghosting you guys. I really not.
I was being dramatic.
But you cannot do that. You really always are like, hey, guy, when you have a time, call guy for a drink. Don't call when you need someone. Always maintain the relationship, communicate with the people, say hello, or if you hear something good or bad happen to that person, call him.
Of course, plan a trip to Italy, drive Ferraris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
that was the last time we were all together talking on the
because,
podcast.
May.
Regardless on a position, we are all humans.
Trip of a lifetime.
It was a trip.
Sorry.
No,
I don't want to sidetrack.
I know. I'm gonna start talking about racing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, all right.
We have that awesome simulator.
later. Anyway, no, I mean, you're right. Like, relationships are very key and important. I don't know. Like, for me, it's even just like the small things that make people feel special, right? Like you said, you don't call somebody when you just need something, right? You do other stuff. Like,
you do other stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like, Nick's like, yeah, come down and have a fire with me and have some
exactly.
food and hang out or whatever. We'll go to the range and spend some time at the range or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
We just do something different.
Well, Paul, we got to get you a set of golf clubs because that needs to happen.
Apparently, I need to start golfing.
Same here, man.
Great.
And I'm horrible. Yeah.
So
Great.
I guess you and I will struggle together with
Yes.
the
All
golfing.
right, so we'll go. The three of us will go. We'll put some money on it.
Yep.
This is going to be great.
It's going to be great. Yeah. Golfing is still pretty important. But yeah, that's but the second time I will say, we have such a beautiful meeting today. That's what I'm even though I'm tired as hell, but I'm leaving the day today on a good note. We have such a good meeting today with one of our newest client, very sophisticated one, very small project, which is just vestibule and renovation. And in communication with my architect, he was like, you know what, this interior designer, she's really skillful in all this rendering software, presentation stuff. She's available. We should grab her. So first we grabbed her on one project, came out beautiful. And I was like, yeah, I need her. And she put the package so fast. I just helped a little bit design, wear sketch there and there. And the client today was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yes.
Honestly. And after the meeting, they mentioned that in a meeting, which is very rare. And then after the meeting, we received the email telling us, wow, guys, this is pretty good, actually. You don't have to do it maybe anything for our next meeting. We just have to regroup with our interior stuff. We don't want you guys to change too much, and then interior tells another direction. And I was like, wow. So you have to communicate on different level with your team members. And they started bad because last night I was going through I returned back to my project, started looking at the Bluebeam session that I didn't even have a chance to look at all. And we submitted the project. I get the feedbacks, and I'm going through the list of the comments from the city of Columbus. Thank God, only 12 of them. And then one comment struck me what is this wall type? What what? And I told my team, like, guys, I want my wall times be spotless. This is like show you if you're literate or illiterate architect. And wall types are all messed up. I didn't sleep last night. I was so pissed. And I was like, contain. I sent a message just to shake them all that the things are serious.
Yeah.
And then when it comes, when they start coming in office and they're so eager to talk to me, like, why we f***ed it up? Sorry, my language.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, we cannot do like that. And it took me a little bit time for me to calm down. Then I have this conversation and then lead them. Literally, like, you have to explain. I keep telling them, guys, just think how they're going to build this stuff. That's how you're going to put things together. But I don't blame them. Because in order to gain that kind of awareness, you need experience in a CA.
Yeah, and everybody makes mistakes.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Happens.
Yeah, me too.
It happens.
Exactly.
And that's some of the best learnings that I've
Yes.
had is when you make a mistake, you learn from it, and next
You
time
learn
it should never happen again.
Yeah. But that's how it is. But you still have to, like, you don't want to be too friendly with your stuff, but also you don't want to be an asshole either.
It's hard
Yeah.
because you care about these people.
Yes.
And you want to see them grow. You're excited for their development, their growth.
They're gonna make me good better.
Absolutely. And they're challenging you to be a better leader,
Mhm.
because as they get better, you're going to have to teach them
Yes.
more. So then you're going to have to bring
Yeah.
more value to
Yes.
them, or they're going to leave.
Yeah.
Because the moment they stop
Exactly.
getting value from this
Exactly.
position, that they're going to start looking at a place and say,
Yeah.
well, I need to go. They want to contribute. Everybody wants to see the success of their company
Mhm.
that they're working for. But at a certain point, if they're not growing as an individual, there's doubt and there's incentive for them to go somewhere else.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
And
even if like collaboration and your ability to listen to them,
Yeah.
their concerns, right? If there's a lacking there, I mean, like, again, like you talk about relationships on the client side, there's relationships internally within the
Yes.
firm that have to
yeah,
be maintained.
yeah. It's a parallel street.
Yeah, yeah.
It's literally has to happen parallel.
Yeah.
You cannot force one than the other.
Because you're relying on your team in order to
Exactly.
deliver to the client.
Exactly. But it's not always happening running in a simultaneously. Just go forward and you have to stop there and move. But how to stop this there when first things that you need to answer is the questions you're seeing from the client.
Yeah.
But you still need to. So there are some sleepless nights. There is like some stuff that happenings after work, 9 p.m., 11 p.m. I'm using delay email a lot.
Yeah.
Like a delayed delivery of the email a lot.
Honestly, it's like you get to the point where the day is like done and things quiet down, and then you get a chance to actually catch up. And I agree. Like the delayed email feature is
Delayed email is
amazing.
just like and Chat GPT helps a lot too. Thanks
course.
to my brother Nicholas for advice.
You're welcome.
Very
You're
good.
welcome.
Yeah.
Very good advice.
Don't rely on it too much, boys.
I know, no. There is a balance in everything, but it's a helpful.
Yes,
it's
yes,
a
yes.
helpful.
Yeah.
Pay for the premium and
I am having premium.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't. You don't even pay for the premium, do you?
We do. We got Gemini.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but use any resource you can to make your life easier. Because on the end of the day, when I come home, I want to be with my kiddos.
Yeah. You have to, especially nowadays,
Mhm.
right?
They're growing fast.
There's too much, right? And
They're
there's
growing so fast.
Yeah. You need to make time for
Mhm.
things in your life, and there's
Yeah.
so much going on so quickly. You
Yeah.
have to leverage these tools
But also, I have
And-
to hang out with my best buddies.
and leverage your team and leverage everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
All right. So all that said, from like the last 6 months, like what's the number one thing that you've learned, like in terms of like I don't know, like growth development, right? So like obviously now you're doing. You said you're chasing work a lot
Mhm.
more. So what's something you're doing now that you never thought you'd be doing, or you're like, oh wow, it was like a aha moment where you're like, oh yeah, I didn't realize this. Have you had a moment like that in the last 6 months where you've like learned something new in your role?
So I won't say like a last 6 months. It was probably
Last year.
Yeah, last year. Yeah, it was some communication that I have with Tammy, my supervisor, when she told me like one of the important thing is that, especially if you're doing like the presentation, if you have user group meetings and you're the one who's leading user group meeting, is always you're like, almost like a conductor of the meeting. You don't have to lead at meetings. You're there to start to like feel the like a pressure, feel the communication, feel the tension in the air. Try to almost like a direct in the right direction. Ask right question. Here you have to ask right question. There are stupid questions that can put you in trouble. Because these are very sophisticated meeting. But one of important she told me Nino, just make everything. Your meeting was good. Everything was fine. You reached this point. You summarize it well. You explain this. But one thing you have to pay attention is, so you have to warn the client. That client has like a 10 more minutes for a meeting to 10 more minutes of the meeting.
Yeah.
Because all your clients have their everyday's jobs and duties. They left their surgery rooms, they left their exams rooms to go to your meeting for you to extract the feedbacks from them.
Yeah.
So you have to value their time, every their second. So don't be like she told me I have some feedbacks from the client. The client told me I don't want to deal with this project manager anymore because he or she keep passing the dedicated time for a meeting.
Yeah.
10-15 minutes. And then everybody's rushing out back to the work.
Yeah.
And so that's like a one thing I was like,
I like that. Instant dedicated or constructive feedback.
Yeah.
Well, that, and again, like something that you might not have thought about.
No.
Is super critical, especially for the field that you're working within. It's very easy for something to go over, and it's like people have back-to-back stuff.
So easy.
Yeah.
So easy. And majority of my clients, they don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
They are like, if they're like, especially if you're dealing with people that are actually in a trauma department with high acuity emergency departments or like surgeries. These people are on clock.
Yeah. Well, that, and it's like if they're not there, something could happen where they need to be there,
exactly,
should be there,
and they're not. There. Exactly, and they're not. So, and for PMs that actually work for a client, it's very hard to put all these people together for a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like one of these things. Like I have to actually pay attention to it. But many other million small things, I will say, like. Try to be very responsive to the client. You don't have to be immediate.
Yeah.
Something is even recommended to not immediately react on some information. You don't know all information. Still, like even though it's like a tough email, if you feel the language in it is not the right one,
wait.
So wait, put your composure, ask for advice, share the problem with your supervisor, even though if maybe your mistakes, your screw up, share it, because if you try to handle it by yourself, it may just lead to more trouble.
Digging your hole deeper.
Exactly, because you on the end of the day, you have to be honest. You have to be honest towards yourself, towards your client, and towards your supervisors and your team.
Yeah.
Because as you mentioned, mistakes are made, and we have some fires to put. Always. Yeah, I mean, guys,
that's our job.
That's our job. That is our job.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be a day where there's not something that comes up.
No, I'll be like, something's going wrong. This is too good to be true. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. After hearing that, are you enjoying your journey?
I do. I really do. And we were like, so we were in Europe. And I love Europe. And it's nostalgia. And I didn't tell you this, guys. I don't go to Europe often because it takes me like 2-3 months to mentally recover when I come back home.
Sure.
It's my family's there. My once again, all my buddies from the back of the days when I was kid made a party again. God bless them. And I was like, and I come home and I was like, I'm so torn apart. But I know we have this conversation, especially me and Nick. I'm so glad I'm here where I am, honestly, because even as a kid, I always looking across the horizon to see what is happening there, and America was always in my dream.
Yeah.
Just America itself. It was in me. I always listened the grunge of 90s, and there was like and all that culture in movies and shows and stuff, and I always was like I'm ready for this new society, this new challenge, new beginning. And now for me, this is just extension of it. Just because I told myself, and thank God for some unfortunate circumstances that happened back in the days in my young childhood, I have to leave home very early.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually prepared me for all these new challenges. Is, of course, there are some rough moments. Of course, is suffering from some stomach issues and have acid reflux, which is almost chronic because everything comes to payoff. But it kind of prepares me and still pushing me forward to just keep exploring. I'm not scared of the new adventures, of the new horizons at all. I just like to keep exploring it. And these new steps that I'm reaching now, I'm feeling very comfortable.
I love it. And you're very capable.
Yeah.
I on a lighter note, and maybe slightly related to stomach issues, I told Sarah recently that we have to, if we're going to buy groceries, I would like to buy products of Italy.
Yeah.
And
it was such a good food. It's all domestically grown.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
locally sourced,
seasonal,
chemicals,
exactly.
and all this
and
stuff.
listen, we ate. I mean, yes, there were smaller portions, but we ate up. But we ate,
tons.
and I did not feel. I did
No.
not feel like I do here.
No.
Like as soon as I came back, I noticed it immediately.
Yes. Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, you said you're torn apart coming back. I mean, like again, same thing. It was a trip of a lifetime.
Yeah,
Coming back,
it was.
there was a huge adjustment.
It was adjustment.
even for me.
It was a huge adjustment.
Yeah.
But for work-wise, I was already tuned in. Even though I have exactly 499 emails, unread emails that was waiting for me. But I was able to go through them pretty quickly. I think the team that I left behind me was able to deal with it. Even though some of them were really concerned, I was like, oh, snap, Nino.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Nino. You were very relaxed
Yeah.
when you were unplugged on vacation.
Oh,
Like-
yes, I am. You know what? Because of that, these jobs, and you guys know that, it's a constant awareness. You have to be constantly awake.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes to you that you need to listen to your body and go on this vacation. You know that I haven't had good vacations for a while. I shouldn't do that to myself and my family ever again.
No.
But I have a lot of changes. First, buy a new house, then get my papers done, me and my wife, then get a new house, then get the kids, then move here in Columbus. Then change one job, change another job. It constantly is moving forward, learning, and it's a fluid action. But there is always room, and guys, regardless of work and how much you're chasing, always find at least a week and go on a vacation. You need it.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of poetic. I want to circle back since we were talking about circles and full circle in the beginning. I want to go back to design and your passion for it.
Yes.
Because we're kind of wrapping up on time here.
Mm-hmm.
Nino, you've always been, we've been friends for 20 years. And you specifically, out of all my friends in architecture and colleagues, you're just truly talented. We've done a lot of cool projects together. And I just love designing with you because the way you collaborate, it's an experience. Right? It's what every client wants to have with their architect. You fulfill that because this is like the whole world stops.
It's my cocaine.
It is. The whole world literally stops.
Yes.
And now we are working on this.
I'm in a vacuum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people, it's like it's magnetic.
Right? It is.
If you have that
So
passion,
spontaneous.
people are drawn to it.
Yes.
So with all this new responsibility and opportunity you have in your life and problem solving,
that's killing me. I don't have time to design.
So what are you doing about that? How do you get that outlet? Like, just tell me how you're feeling in general, because we need to do, if anything, we should we should enter a competition or something and just flex those muscles some more. Because I'm feeling the same. I'm feeling the same way as you are.
Yes, it's a flexing the muscle. If I don't sketch like for 7 days, I'm horrible. I cannot draw the straight line, honestly. And it constantly needs to be practiced.
So you guys can't see Nino's eyes, but this is so sincere right now. Yeah. I love it.
No, honestly. So what I'm doing, you saw it, like I'm sketching the cars. Sometimes I'm sketching like imaginary designs. I'm actually now building something in my little software on my iPad that I'm gonna 3D printed. So creating little my models. So I constantly creating this imaginary.
How has the 3D printing been going, by the way?
It's pretty good. Yeah. It's pretty good. The only thing is that I have to learn yet is just scaling and how I put pieces and parts together. You know what I'm saying? To look seamless, to look professional.
Yeah, it's
because you know how we are.
Yep.
But sketching. I will, for example, how I help myself is. Kids will go to bed. My wife will go to bed, and I would just tell my wife, I just cannot sleep, and I will go and sit my like a living room, put like a my like a music on my like a record. I have like a turntable, very like a low, and then I will just sketch it, and it can be anything, can be a car, can be a person, can be a corner, can be a chair, can be anything. It's just I want to have my relaxation moment, and that's how I really relax. It's and I usually use like a Procreate on my iPad, and I can leave it with my phone. And you made at me because like Nina is not answering his call because Nina probably left the phone somewhere. But leaving iPad without Apple Pencil or losing the Apple Pencil, it's alarm. It is alarm.
Yeah.
Because that bloody thing doesn't have Find My Apple Pencil. So it's like I dropped it. I actually dropped it at the Cancer Center at Grant.
Yeah. I dropped mine on a job site too, and I had to go back that day and get it.
And I was like texting, and I was like, oh yeah, Workers Finder. This is like, oh my goodness, this pencil is $150. Better like put it aside. I was, oh yeah, that's that crazy architect's pencil. So I was like, oh yeah, did you guys find it? Yes. Oh good.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is like
it's not about the money. It's more about just being without it.
Just being without it.
Yeah.
So when I was flying to Europe, oh my God, they give me this like the most narrower seat. And I was in the middle. But when I was going back, I was on the alley side.
Yeah.
So
you should have flew with me and Paul.
I know. Then I pull up my iPad, and half of the trip, I was modeling and drafting, and it was so cool and flew by like this.
Paul has he's got it down to a science where we'll do business class, or we'll get like an exit seat and. Where someone's not sitting in the middle of us.
Somehow we got lucky, and almost
like
all the flights we had extra space.
Oh, I love those. I love those lucky moments.
Yeah, the one flight was completely full, and the only seat on the plane open was the one between me and Nick.
My God!
Only seat.
Yeah, listen to this. I was actually, you know how many planes I missed when I was going to Europe. And suddenly, like, okay, being transferred to this gigantic Airbus 380, whatever it is, like the biggest plane. And I was like, yes, I'm going to have nice, good seat. No. They so jam-packed that plane with the seat. And I handled in the middle. I was miserable for 9 hours.
It's interesting what we could put up with when we were younger. And
I know. Now you cannot. So I'm feeling unique. Honestly, I was so miserable.
Yeah. No, I would agree. Like when Nick and I flew to Boston, it's like, why don't we do this more? Or why haven't we done this in the past?
Oh, we got first
It's like
class.
Another,
I know.
like you said,
I know. Why we didn't go and watch Formula One live before?
Yeah. It was funny. I was actually looking at a flight to Milan the other day because I'm like, oh, Monza's coming up in September.
Yeah, you're like it's like a drug, man.
It's like
a drug.
It's like $500 for a flight round
trip.
Yeah.
So-
I know you're like thinking. No, my wife would definitely kill me.
Hey, listen.
I was on the edge when I returned back home. I have to do like everything. Yes, honey, we'll do, honey.
Paul?
I'll do it.
Paul, get 3 tickets. Let's go.
There goes my marriage.
Tina, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh my god, she will kill me, literally. So
This has been a lot of fun, Nino.
thank you guys for having me. Yes.
Yeah, it was great to catch up. You got to come back and do some other ones with us.
Yes, I
if you have time, obviously.
Yeah, usually weekends works better.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now every Saturday next month I have basketball with Dominic.
Yep.
But I think that's gonna last till school starts. So
Well, since you're so good at asking questions, what would be a good final last question to ask our guest, you?
to ask me,
Is there anything we missed that we didn't talk about?
wow, that's a good question. Actually, I hadn't even thought about it.
This is like when you're interviewing somebody and it's like you ask them, you've been asking them questions and then you ask them to ask you a question. Is it like that?
Yeah.
Change of
I don't know.
roles?
I don't know. You got me. You really got me.
Well, then how about
now.
this? What's I'm thinking of like bigger pockets. What's a good book you've read recently that's really left an impression on you?
The good book. I was actually reading 2 books simultaneously.
Like at the same time?
One is audiobook, another one is they're completely different, so you can do it. So audiobook I'm listening now is a Frontiersman. Very good book. It's about history of Ohio. From the period of the 1775 to I'm now in 1812. So all this like infights between natives and the whites. They actually call them they call them Shimenese.
Yeah.
So that's how we're being called by the natives.
Yeah.
And it's a very good book. The another one book is a woman.
Huh?
Women.
Yeah.
It's a good book. It's a crazy.
Did Tina give you that book when you came
no,
back?
it's actually I get this book from my crazy friends in Europe, and it's amazing book. It's just insane. Yeah.
Danny would like this. I'm actually just started an audiobook on cosmology. It's called An Infinity of Worlds. So I'm super pumped about that.
Yeah. A good question though.
Okay.
Good question. Yeah. And both of them I haven't finished them yet. So because I'm reading them both simultaneously. That's not really simultaneously, but
Yeah.
they're so good. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that's it. We're at time. So
Yeah. We're going to stop right there and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yes. Take care.
this has been the ArcFluence Podcast. As always, you can get more information and additional content on arcfluence.com. Please subscribe on the platform of your choice and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you.